Mucus is a substance that lines the airways of the lungs to provide lubrication, filtration, and protection to keep foreign materials from entering the respiratory system. As you take a breath in, pollutants such as dust, allergens, and even viruses get stuck in mucus, which functions to keep these debris from entering the lungs. With that all said, sometimes the body can produce too much mucus, which leaves you feeling congested and makes it more difficult to breathe. Since you're here, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. And the good news is, in this video, we're going to discuss some of the most common causes of mucus buildup in the lungs so that hopefully you can get rid of that nagging feeling. Be sure to watch until the end because there are a few techniques that not many people know about. So if you're ready, let's get into it. Just a quick reminder, we are not doctors. This video is for informational purposes only. But now let's take a look at some of the most common causes of increased mucus. The first one is Laryngopharyngeal Reflux. This is one of the primary causes of that nagging sensation that makes you feel like you constantly need to clear your throat. It occurs when stomach acid moves upwards instead of downwards and ends up accumulated in the back of your throat. The contents can be either acidic or non-acidic. Another one is Post-Nasal Drainage. This is, as the name suggests, literally where drainage from the nose travels down and accumulates in the back of the throat. The cause of this could stem either from allergies or from your sinuses, and the treatment really depends on which one it is. Or it could be caused by food allergies. That's correct. It is very possible for increased mucus production to stem from a food that your body is allergic to. Some common culprits include dairy products, wheat, gluten, and even eggs in some cases. One would need to undergo proper testing in order to see which foods you are allergic to in order to determine the root cause. Another common cause of increased mucus production is when an infection is present. That feeling of congestion is a common side effect that comes from a virus or infection, such as the common cold. When the body is sick, to fight the illness, it creates more mucus, which creates that feeling of congestion and makes it more difficult to breathe. And another common cause often stems from certain respiratory conditions. Respiratory diseases and conditions such as asthma, COPD, chronic bronchitis, pneumonia, and cystic fibrosis are all known to cause increased mucus production in the lungs. So now that we've covered some of the most common causes, let's talk about some of the techniques that you can use to provide relief for these nagging symptoms. First and foremost, you should take the right medications. The most effective way to get rid of mucus is to take the medications that are prescribed directly by your doctor. This is especially true for those who have underlying respiratory conditions. But if you're looking for other means, some over-the-counter medications may be helpful as well. Medications such as expectorants can help to loosen mucus and phlegm buildup and make it easier to cough up or blow out through your nose. Also, certain types of decongestants may provide short-term relief, but they are generally not recommended for continuous use. And sometimes they can even make it more difficult to get rid of mucus in the long term. And I have to keep saying it, guys, always check with your doctor first about medications and treatment methods because they will know more about your individual condition. The next method for getting rid of mucus is to drink plenty of fluids. You probably grew up hearing your parents tell you to drink plenty of water every time you were sick or had a cold. Now, it may sound cliche, but they were 100% correct because it actually does help improve the functionality of pretty much all the major systems of the body. Not to mention, staying hydrated helps to thin out mucus as well. If your body is dehydrated, it will cause the secretions to thicken up, which makes them more difficult to remove and makes the issue much worse. On the other hand, if your body is well hydrated, the fluids help break up the mucus so that it doesn't stick to your airways, which makes it way easier to cough up or blow out through your nose. So listen to your parents and try to drink a lot of water. Another easy method is to take a hot bath or shower. In this case, the main benefit is to inhale the steam that is produced by warm water. Steam acts as a natural way to help break up and get rid of mucus because it consists of tiny liquid aerosol particles that are suspended within the air. The process is simple. Simply breathe in and out to allow the humidity from the steam to enter the airways and work to loosen up mucus so that it can be removed. This method also helps reduce sinus pressure, chest congestion, and other nagging symptoms as well. The next technique that we should mention is to keep your allergies under control. Not only can seasonal allergies cause a runny nose, itchy throat, and watery eyes, they can also cause excessive amounts of mucus and phlegm to build up as well. So keeping your allergies in check is a no-brainer. Make sure that you're using your typical prescription or over-the-counter allergy medications in order to alleviate these symptoms, because otherwise, this could lead to increased amounts of mucus, which is obviously the opposite of what we want. The next method is to gargle warm salt water. This is a classic home remedy that feels nice and can get rid of mucus that has accumulated in the back of your throat. It works because sodium helps to break up the disulfide bonds within mucus and thins it out for removal. It can also help to soothe a sore throat as well. Simply mix 1/2 teaspoon of salt with 1 cup of warm water so that the salt will dissolve in the liquid. Tilt your head back slightly and gargle the mixture in your throat without drinking it, and repeat the process as needed. Another thing you can do is avoid irritants. Things like pollution, chemicals, and even certain fragrances can trigger the body to produce excessive amounts of mucus. So if you notice that any of these are making your symptoms worse, just try to avoid it if at all possible. And now I couldn't have made this video without bringing up smoking, right? Cigarette smoke contains over 7,000 toxic chemicals, some of which can trigger the body to create mucus as a way to combat foreign substances. Now, it goes without saying, and I harp on it all the time, but if you smoke, try to stop. And try to avoid secondhand smoke as well if you're around others who do. Now, this is one you may or may not have thought of, but you should try to eat foods that are good for the respiratory system. Anecdotal studies found that certain foods and drinks can be very effective in getting rid of mucus and phlegm. Let's look at spicy foods as an example. Spices such as chili and cayenne pepper contain substances that can stimulate and clear up your sinuses. This can help make removing secretions much easier by blowing your nose or coughing. More examples of healthy foods for your lungs include foods with healthy fats, spices that reduce inflammation, and fruits and vegetables that are high in antioxidants. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, you should try to avoid the foods that your body is allergic to that make symptoms worse. Real quick guys, do me a huge favor and hit the like button. It really helps support the channel and I greatly appreciate it. And while you're down there, go ahead and click the subscribe button as well, because we have a ton of other videos on our channel that I think you will enjoy. I hope you like the tips that were shared in this video. Millions of people around the world suffer from the uncomfortable feeling that comes with chest congestion and increased mucus production. But now, hopefully, you have a better understanding of the causes so that maybe you'll have an easier time relieving the symptoms. As always, be sure to speak with your doctor for medical advice and treatment, because this video is for informational purposes only. And just a reminder, we do have a full guide on this topic on our website. I will drop a link to it right below this video down in the description. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have a blessed day, and as always, breathe easy, my friend.